Sun Systems includes a convenient journal reversal function that greatly simplifies the journal reversal process. The journal reversal and copying function can be used to select one or more journals and repost them as a reversal or as a duplicate copy without having to enter all or any details in ledger entry. You can reverse or copy multiple journals. If you are reversing a journal, the original information is replicated except that the debits and credits are reversed. Certain other fields are automatically overwritten to maintain an audit trail. Optionally, you can modify certain parts of the journal data, including the date, the period, and the operator ID, depending on what you need to do to post the correct entry. Journals generated by this function will be marked as a journal reversal. Journals must meet the following conditions in order to be eligible to be reversed. The journal must be in balance. It must not include transaction lines posted to memo accounts. All selected journals in a reversal must have the same journal type, and it cannot be a system journal. The journal status must be either open or hidden. The journal must not be part of a saved set or an authorization batch, and it must not have any transaction lines allocated with allocated, paid, or correction allocation markers. So let's look at how the process actually works. We're going to open the journal reversal and copying function. We will use this for both journal reversals and for journal copies. The first screen that we see looks very familiar. It looks like the exact same screen that we would see if we were using journal inquiry. And this is basically a filter. It helps us to narrow down our search for the appropriate data that we want to reverse. So we're going to enter the journal number or numbers to be included in our journal reversal. This can be one or more journals. The number of the first journal in the range in the journal number from field. Then I'll tab over to the journal number 2 field, and I will enter either the same number if I only want to reverse one journal, or I will enter the number of the later journal. Remember, all journal types included in the reversal have to be the same. Then I will click OK. On this screen, in a grid display, will be displayed all of the journal lines associated with this reversal, with the journal that you are planning to reverse, or the journals. And here I can select the lines that I want to include in the reversal. I can hold down the Shift key and click in the left margin of the screen, and notice that all of the highlighted lines will be included in the journal reversal. At this point, I want to click the Review button. The Control Desk's in-tray screen will be displayed, and it shows the journal lines that you have chosen or I have chosen to include in our reversal journal. What I need to do here is come to the Report Process field in the lower right-hand corner of the screen and click the drop-down arrow. From this list of options, I will select Journal Reversal, and I will click OK. Now we are taken into yet another screen. This is the actual journal reversal and copy screen. Across the top we have header information. Notice that the fields here have grayed out backgrounds. That means that we cannot modify the information in these fields. It is read only. We notice that the journal type is JV, and here are the journal numbers to be included in our reversal. There are also 2 buttons in the header. These buttons have to do with eDocs, which is the Sun Systems scanning archive. We will not need the eDocs process for this particular entry. Most of what we're going to do is done right here on this first Data Selection tab. You'll notice that in highlighted text we have a lot of notes. It is easy with a journal reversal or a journal copy to accidentally make some common errors, and so we've added a lot of notes to this screen to help you avoid those errors. We need to change the data or enter data or accept the data that is already displayed in the fields with white backgrounds. The first field that we need to do something about is the allocation marker for reversal field. And here the default has been set to corrections only. If you'll go to the far right side of the screen, you'll notice there's a note. The corrections only value hides the original and the correction line in the statement of account. And what this means is that the reversal will actually happen, and there will be an internal audit trail of the reversal as well as the original entry. Neither of these two entries will be displayed on the statement of account. So the person who sees the statement of account outside the office would not even be aware that a correction had been made. Allocation marker for original invoice has to do with the payment reversal. And so we do not need it for this particular reversal, and that's a good thing because the field is grayed out, so we couldn't do anything about it anyway. The next set, and it is a set of fields on the screen, have to do with transaction date. And here you have an option. You can use the defaulted date here, you can change the date here, or you can ask the system to use the original transaction date. Here again we have a note, and it says that we will normally want to use the original transaction date. So we'll set this value to yes. Actually, we'll accept the default because it already is defaulted to yes. The next set of fields have to do with the accounting period. It's defaulted to the current period. We can accept this, we can change this, or once again we can use the original period. Here again there's a note to remind us of best practices. We will use the original period. We'll set this to yes if the reversal is done in the same period as the original entry. In other words, if the reversal is done before you've printed the financial statements. If the reversal is done after that same period or after the financial statements have been printed, we want to set it to no. So we're going to set this to no because we are reversing an entry that was made in a prior period. The next field that we need to populate asks us whether we want to use the originator's ID and date, or if we want to use today's date and the logged in journal source ID. So I'm just going to no. We'll say no. And finally, we're asked whether we want to suppress the business rules. And usually the value that we want to put here is a no. The business rules are there for a reason and we want to leave them intact. At this point, if I click the Post button, I will be asked to enter a note. So I will go ahead and click on the Note Text tab. Here we want to enter a note explaining why we needed to do the reversal. And I'm going to type in demonstration reversal because this is a reversal that we are doing only for demonstration purposes. And down here at the bottom, we need to indicate that we want internal only. Yes. When we set the internal only value to yes, the note that we have entered connected to this reversal will only be displayed on documents that remain inside the office. So it would be displayed on your journal listing, but it's not going to show up on the statement of account or any other document that is intended to leave the office. And what that does is it provides an audit trail internally, but it keeps the note from being displayed to people who don't really need to see it. So at this point we have done everything we need as far as setting the criteria for our reversal, and we can post by clicking the Post button. It's going to take a couple seconds for the system to go through the posting process. When the posting has been done, a couple of things happen. We get this message. It's an informational message saying that the batch program has completed successfully, and we're going to click OK. Down in the lower left-hand corner of the screen, we get the journal number for the posting because this is a journal entry just like any entry that we would have made in ledger entry. So a journal number has been assigned, the next one in the system. And just like with any other ledger entry, the journal listing has been created, and here it is. It has popped up. This is our reversal. Up here we have the journal type, and it points out that it's a journal reversal or a copy, so that we have our internal audit trail. Also, under the regular information for each line, we have an allocation marker of correction, which will keep it off the statement of account. We also have the note that we entered, the demonstration reversal. And that is the process of reversing a journal. See how painless it was? In the next video, we will look at the process of copying a journal, which is pretty much the same, but it will be copying the journal instead of reversing it.